Hello, everyone. Welcome to our English class. I will be your teacher for today. My name is Nance Biswas. I have been told by a few parents of the students here that some of you cannot see me. That means you are blind. That's why I have to be a little bit descriptive in our class for today. So, as I have said, my name is Nance Biswas. I'm a little skinny. I am wearing a blue coat right now with an inner blouse that is colored maroon. I am brown skinned and I'm also wearing a pair of eyeglasses. All right. So that is who I am, and I hope that you can imagine how I look. So, since we have blind students in our class, don't be surprised, normal students, if you see some slides that you cannot understand. They are written in Braille, and that is for the sake of the blind students that we have in our class. So, like in other classes that we have, we will start our class with a word of prayer. So, who is that brave soul who would like to read the prayer written on the screen? Okay. Oh, Joshua, I know you are blind, but um, can you see the screen? So, are you willing to use your screen reader app to read the prayer? Oh, that's wonderful. Please go ahead and read our prayer. Thank you. Close your eyes, bow your head, think of God. Mhm, mhm. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, thank you so much. So, I am so amazed that you can read the Braille using your screen reader app. Joshua, that's wonderful. So let's move on to the checking of your attendance. So some of you might be surprised that I'm a little strict, but it is for your own good. So I will be passing out a piece of paper so that you can write your name on the attendance sheet, and we will do that every time we have a class. All right. Thank you. That will save us so much time. Mm-hmm. Okay. But while you are writing your name on the attendance sheet, I will also call you one by one. All right. So is Richard here? Good. You're present. Jenny. Good. Joanna. That's right. Okay. Jenny. Oh, I already called you. Very good. Shen. All right. Mark. All right. Matthew. All right. Very good. So I have recorded your attendance, and that attendance sheet is just a backup in case I lose this copy. All right. So reminder, just a reminder, 5% of your total grades will be based on your attendance in this class. Okay. And for some of you who cannot see that screen, I will flash the one that is written in Braille. All right. So I assume that you are done. Now let's talk about our class rules. So please remember that you have to listen to me and you have to be quiet while listening to the lesson and raise your hand before you speak. And I want you to follow our seating arrangement. And the most important rule that I have is have fun. All right. So for those that cannot see that screen, here is the one written in Braille. Okay, class rules. CLASS space RULES. Class rules. And the rest you can read in Braille. All right, very good. Now, let's move on to the seating arrangement. Okay, so since some of you cannot see fully, please don't feel bad if they have to sit near me so that I can show them the presentations and the visual aids much better so that they can see the visual aids I am presenting much better. So some of you have turned in your names. So the blind students that we have in our class are, okay, Bianca, Jonalyn, all right, Shona, and Michaela. All right. So you have to sit near me. And of course, Joshua. Thank you. So thank you so much for your attention. Now let's get started with our energizer. So just like in other classes, you will have to sing with me. Okay? So let's sing this song. So this is how it goes. Hello, 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 how are you? Hello, 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 how are you? I'm good. I'm great. I'm wonderful. I'm good. I'm great. I'm wonderful. Hello, 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 how are you? Hello, 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 how are you? I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm not so good. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm not so good. Hello, 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 how are you? 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 Okay, very good. So I'm seeing your smiles. So I hope that you enjoyed that song. So as I have said, I will be sending or giving out handouts to the blind students that are written in Braille. So don't worry. And I know that you have been familiar with this song. So let's get started with our lesson for today. But before that, let's have a quick review. Okay, what do nouns mean? Okay, Michaela. Yeah, all right. So that's good. You have a very sharp brain, Michaela. I know you don't see a lot, but you have a very sharp brain. Yes, nouns are words that name things, places, animals, or anything you can see around. Okay, very good. How about examples? Yes, Shona. All right. A bike? That's wonderful. That's a good answer. All right, Joshua. A chair. Yes, that's right. Okay. You want to say something, Michaela? Okay. So, a desk. That's right. Those are nouns. So, you gave good examples of nouns. So, let's move on to our lesson. But before that, I have a game for you. And since some of you cannot see the screen, I will be playing some words and you have to guess the language. All right. So for those normal students, if your friend cannot understand what I am saying, please be kind enough to help them. All right. But I hope that you can hear this well. All right. How about the first one?
Te amo, te amo.
Okay. All right. Joshua, what is that language? That's right. It's Spanish. Te amo. That is the Spanish word for I love you. All right. How about this one?
मुझे तुमसे प्यार है, मुझे तुमसे प्यार है.
Yes. All right. Shen. Okay. You want to help Joanna? You're whispering something to her? Yes. Oh, I see. So you and your family love Hindi? Hindi movies. So you're familiar with this phrase, this sentence. Yes, that's I love you in Hindi. That's very good. Okay, now let's move on to the next one.
愛してます。愛してます。
Okay. So some of you are very much into anime. So that is what? Japanese. Very good. And that is the word for I love you. How about this one?
আমি তোমাকে ভালোবাসি আমি তোমাকে ভালোবাসি
Okay. So, yeah, who can tell what language that is? All right. So that is the word or the sentence for I love you in what language? Okay. Yes, Bangla. Okay, so that is in Bangla or Bengali. Okay, how about the next one?
我爱你。我爱你。
All right. Some of you have parents that are working in this country. So it's in the language of the people in China. So it's in Chinese. Very good. Very good. So thank you so much for your attention. So as you can see, I taught you the word I love you in different languages. So what is the point? Okay, so to be able to learn a certain language, you need to learn some rules. And that is what we are going to learn today. What does it take to learn a language? Okay, so to learn a language, you need to know syntax. So learning the syntax of the English language will help you communicate better with other people that cannot speak our own language. All right, so that is what we will be talking about today. Syntax. Syntax. So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to define define syntax. Syntax. So you should be able to define syntax in your own words. Also, by the end of this lesson, you should be able to remember the rules for creating sentences in English. All right? And also, you should be able to identify the type of sentences you will hear during the lesson. And also, at the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify the correct type of sentences you read. Okay? So we will have a few more listening later for the sake of our students that cannot fully see. So for those that can see, please take some time to take a screenshot of this slide so that you can help your study buddy later. But I know that they have a screen reader app, so that will help as well. So let's move on to our lesson. What is syntax? Okay, so for time's sake, I will be reading this to you. So what is syntax? Okay, so for those that can see normally, I want you to take a screenshot of this and save it for later. We will prioritize the ones that cannot see, so I will be flashing the ones written in Braille. All right. So in general, syntax is a definite arrangement of words and phrases in a sentence in a particular order. So in simple words, syntax only tell us about the proper order of words in a sentence. So just remember that changing one position of even one word could drastically change the meaning of the whole sentence. And it is said that all languages have their particular rules regarding their word arrangement, and skilled writers can manipulate these rules to creatively express their written works. And I assume that most of you have taken English classes until the sixth level and you are now in your first year high school English class. All right. So technically, syntax does not only cover word order, but also grammar rules like subject verb agreement. We've been talking about subject verb agreement ever since we are in elementary. So this should be easy for you. So it is now time to study how the words and the smallest units of words called morphemes create phrases and sentences as they are combined together. All right. So syntax, as I have said, is a definite arrangement of words and phrases in a sentence. Now, let's talk about the 5 basic rules of syntax in English. 5, F-I-V-E, 5. Number 1, all sentences require a subject and a verb. Okay, Joshua, look at the screen. You have a screen reader app. Can you use your app to read what is in the screen? What is the example there? Very good. I am. That is a very simple example of a sentence that is observing the first rule. All sentences require a subject and a verb. Okay. Number 2, it says there a single sentence should include one main idea. All right, Michaela, can you read the example? Very good. So it says there the tree is tall. So what is the main idea? The tree is tall. Okay, very good. Now, number 3. It says there, the subject comes first and the verb comes second. So they ate. So they being the subject comes first and ate being the verb comes next. Okay? Next, Chana. All right. Please go ahead and read the 3rd basic rule. Right. Very good. So, subordinate clauses or dependent clauses, those phrases that cannot stand alone, also require a subject and a verb. Okay, we have an example here. Mark, can you help? Can you read this? Okay, using your screen reader app. That's right. Very good. So the example we are seeing here is that the pizza was old, but they still ate it. All right, so which one is the subordinate clause here? But they still ate it. All right, because of the word but, it makes the whole thing a subordinate clause or a dependent clause. All right, number 5. I will read adjectives. Adjectives, adjectives, and adverbs, 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 go in front of the words they describe. All right, so we have the example here. She cooked a delicious meal. Delicious being the adjective comes before the word meal, which is our noun. All right, so adjectives and adverbs go in front of the words they describe, and the thing that is being described here is the meal. That's why we need the word delicious in front of it. Okay, good job. Now, I know it's going to be a tough part because we will be sharing thoughts about the sentences. All right, so I have here a picture of a teacher talking with his students. One of them is having a laptop and a book. One of them is just standing. One of them is having fun listening to the teacher, and one of them is not paying attention. All right, so using this picture, I want to teach you the 7 syntactical patterns in English. All right, so the first syntactical pattern we have is the subject verb. And using that picture that you saw, Okay? And that you can imagine, we can say the teacher is teaching. So the teacher is the subject, is teaching is the verb. All right, please use your recorder because this is important. Next, subject, verb, direct object. All right, so if we are to use this pattern, subject, verb, direct object, we can come up with a sentence like this. The teacher is teaching the students. So the teacher is the subject, is teaching is the verb, the students is the direct object. All right? And the next pattern we have is subject, verb, subject complement. The teacher is kind. So the teacher being the subject, is the verb, the be verb, and kind is the subject complement. It describes something or tells something about the subject. All right, the next one is subject, verb, adverbial complement. So in this pattern, using this pattern, I use the sentence, the teachers teaches well. So the teacher is the subject, teaches is the verb, and adverbial complement is the word well is the adverbial complement. All right, Michaela, using the subject, verb, indirect object, direct object pattern, would you please read the sentence? Yeah. Yes, that's right, Michaela. That's a very, very clear way of reading the sentence. So it says there, the teacher taught the kids science. So it's here. The teacher taught the kids science. All right. Now, Chana, using the pattern subject, verb, direct object, and object complement, can you please read the example sentence? All right, very good. So the teacher made the exam easy. Okay, so I will also make your exams easy, don't worry. And the last pattern that we have is subject, verb, direct object, adverbial complement. All right, so it says there, the teacher taught the lesson well. Very good. So the teacher taught the lesson well. Okay. So good job, everyone. Now, I will be playing a sound. And using the sound that you will hear, I want you to make sentences. All right? Or before that, I will let you listen to a sound so that you can imagine what is going on in the picture. So I will give you keywords. So there's a Muslim girl. She's wearing a birthday hat. She's holding a pink cake, birthday cake. And her friends are so happy that it's her birthday. They sang a song. They are catching the confetti that got popped from a confetti container. They're all smiling, and some of them are clapping while singing the birthday song. So some of you may need sound. So let's imagine they're singing this song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Okay, so you can imagine that they are having fun celebrating this her birthday. So using that situation in your mind, we can make 4 types of sentences. One is simple, second is compound, the third is complex, and the fourth one is compound complex. Simple, S-I-M-P-L-E. Simple, compound, C-O-M-P-O-U-N-D. All right? So these are the 4 types of sentences. Types, T-Y-P-E-S, types. Complex, C-O-M-P-L-E-X, complex. And we have another type, compound complex, C-O-M-P-O-U-N-D dash C-O-M-P-L-E-X, compound complex. So for the simple type of sentence, we can say that everyone is happy. All right. So we say that a sentence is simple when it is an independent clause. It has a subject, it has a verb, it has a complement, and it can stand alone. When we say compound, the sentence has two independent clauses with a connector in between. All right. So using that situation or scenario in your mind, we can say that everyone is excited to eat the cake, but it is very small. All right. Now, another type of sentence we can make is a complex sentence. What is a complex sentence? It is a combination of one independent clause, a sentence that can stand alone, and one dependent clause. When we say a dependent clause, dependent, dependent clause, it cannot stand alone. If we say it, it's not making sense. All right? So, using that pattern, we can say everyone sang a birthday song while one of them played a guitar. So, by the way, I forgot to mention that one of them was holding a guitar. So, everyone sang a birthday song. It's an independent clause. All right. Now, the dependent clause is this: while one of them played the guitar. When we use the word while, when the phrase starts with that, it becomes a dependent clause. Just like in Tagalog, if we say, nang ang isa sa kanila ay tumugtog ng gitara. It's not complete, right? All right, so moving on, we have the compound complex. So the example here is everyone wants to eat the cake, but they cannot do it because it is too small for everyone to share. So I'll give you a clue. A compound complex sentence is usually very long. So what are the components of a compound complex sentence? They have two independent clauses and one dependent clause. So in this example, you can see that everyone wants to eat the cake. That's complete thought. But they cannot do it. All right? That's another dependent clause. Because it is too small for everyone to share is another dependent clause. So that makes it a compound complex sentence. Now, I have another picture here. Some of you cannot see, but I will play a sound to support this picture. But I will describe the picture. There is a bride. These are the keywords, by the way. Bride, groom. Okay, there are hands that are cheering for the new couple. There are some rice, I think, thrown to them. And the groom is holding up the bouquet of the bride. And the challenge here is I want you to make different types of sentences and to for you to be creative in making your sentences, I will play this song. Okay, Joshua, I'm seeing your hand. Okay, so the new couple is happy. Very good. And that is a good sentence. Couple is considered a collective noun. So it's in pairs. So that is still considered one. And we use a singular verb for that. Okay, very good. All right, Chona, you want to say something? Okay, so you heard the music, even though you cannot see the the picture. You have a sentence about this sound. All right. So they are happy. Yeah, that's right. They are happy. Very good. Okay, so let's move on to the next picture. Okay, so the next picture has a teacher telling them a story. Okay, and the kids are listening. They are sitting on the floor. Okay, so I will give you the keywords: kids, teacher, listen. Okay, so those words, using those words, you can make sentences. Okay, so for you to be more creative in thinking, I will play this sound.
Well, let's find out what being kind means for this book and in the story. Be kind. Tanisha spilled grape juice yesterday. All over her new dress. Everyone laughed. I almost did too. But Mom always tells me to be kind. So I try.
Okay, very good. Shauna, I can see your hand. You have been quiet. All right. So you want to make a sentence. So the challenge here is to make a complex sentence. So remember, when you have a complex sentence, you have one independent clause and one dependent clause. So your sentence is, the children are listening while the teacher is telling a story. Wow, that's a wonderful sentence. Yes, that's very good, Shauna. And another challenge I have for you is to make a compound complex sentence. All right? Okay, who wants to share his or her sentence using this sound and the pictures I described to you? Okay, Joshua, do you want me to listen to your sentence? Okay, go ahead. All right. So, the children are listening and the teacher is happy to tell the story when another student came. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. You got it, Joshua. Very good. Now let's take a look at this video. And I cannot play the video for some reason, but I can play the music for you. Okay, so hearing that that sound, I want you to make sentences. Okay, so the keywords I have is oven, bake, egg, mixer, mixing bowl, cookies. So who wants to make a simple sentence? Yes, Michaela. All right. She is baking. Okay, that's a simple sentence. She is the subject. Is baking is the verb. Okay, very good. Compound. Compound sentence. Who wants to share her sentence or his sentence? Yes, Joanna. Okay, so she put the baking pan with cookies in the oven. Yeah, and she waited for them to get baked. Yeah, those are good sentences. That's a good sentence, and those are good choices of words. And that is a compound sentence. You connected it with the connector and. Very good. Complex. Okay. Yes, Michaela. So she baked cookies, although she didn't have a recipe. Wow. You know what that is called? Blind baking. And one day, I would want you to do that. Blind baking. Without a recipe, you will just try to guess all the ingredients you need to make a cookie, and let's see who is the most creative blind baker here. All right, I'm excited. And let's move on to another type of sentence I want you to make, a complex one. Yes. Yeah, it's a little, it's getting a little. Oh, you already gave the complex one. The last one, compound complex. All right. Who wants to be willing, or who is willing to give a compound complex sentence? All right, very good. Chona, okay, go ahead, don't be shy. All right. She baked cookies and put them in the fridge, but no one came to eat them. Oh, that's a sad story. But at least, yeah, that's a good sentence. And at least she will have some stock of cookies she can enjoy um, for her snacks. All right, good job. Now let's move on to the generalization. Okay, so what is the point of our lesson for today? Knowledge of basic rules of syntax in English, knowledge, KNOWLEDGE, okay, of basic rules of syntax in English equals effective communication. So if we know the rules, then we can better express ourselves in English, and those who cannot understand our local language but can understand English will understand us. Okay, very good. And now let's have our application. All right. So I have already assigned you your study buddies, right? So Shen with Joanna, Michaela with Jenny, all right? Shona with Jacqueline, all right? Joshua with Richard, and Mark with Alex. All right, so that is your assignment. So you will be grouped into two and into pairs, and you will have to write a short story using the picture, okay, that I will show you. Okay, so using this picture, I want you to make a sentence. All right, so for those that cannot see the picture, this is an emergency. Okay, so there is one that broke her leg during the accident. All right, and there is a man that helps the one that broke her leg, and another woman is calling 911. Okay, so let's do that. So I will give you about 5 minutes to do that. So this is the sound. Okay, so for those who did not hear, okay, so for those who did not hear what I said, so there's a woman calling 911 and you heard the sound effect. And there's another woman that somehow broke her leg and another man is helping her. Okay, so what would be your sentence and short story rather? And an ambulance is coming, so that's here. So you can have creativity as you listen. Thank you. Thank you so much. So our time is up. And let's call on Michaela's group. What is your story? All right. Mm-hmm. All right. Wow. So, yes, so that's a good sentence. That's a good story. So, Sheila left her office and went to a party and she got drunk. She drove her car to go home, but then she met an accident, and the driver of the other car helped her because she somehow hurt her leg. All right, very good. And the wife of the driver of the other car called 911 for help. Yeah, that's a very good story. Good job, Michaela, and your group. All right, now for time's sake, let's move on to the evaluation. And as you can remember, I asked you to learn the four types of sentences. And here I have written down some sentences and I want to see who can tell me what they are. So, number one, I am hungry. What sentence is this? Yes, Michaela. That is right. It's a simple sentence. Number two, it says here, she thought she is ready, but she isn't. Mark. Yes, that's right. That's right. So it is a compound sentence. Number three. Yes, Joanna. All right. So the burger was cheesy and delicious is what? It looks like a compound sentence, but it is a simple sentence. Why? Because the burger is the subject, was cheesy and delicious is the complement. All right. You just have two descriptive words for the burger. And number four, although the teacher did not teach as well, the students know the answer as well. What is that sentence? What type of sentence is that? Complex. Very good. That's right. So wonderful. So, Chana, thank you for giving the right answer. And number five, this is the last one. It's a long one, so I told you the hint. Remember when the sentence is rather too long, it's most of the time a compound complex sentence. So it says here, as much as I would like to continue, I couldn't do so because there was a blackout in my place. Okay, good job, everyone, and I'm so happy that you learned a lot. So I hope that the blind students that are here were able to record your notes for today's lesson. And I am so happy that you were able to use your screen reader apps as well. And your study buddies I have assigned before the lesson will help you as they give you their notes. And don't worry as well because I will be uploading our recorded class in our Google Classroom. All right, so thank you so much for your participation. Any questions before we end? None? Okay, so if there is none, thank you so much. I will give extra points to those who participated well in our class today. Happy Love Month. And I have a homework for you before we end. Choose two pictures and describe them in our next class using the 7 syntactical patterns in English. But for those who cannot fully see, I want you to bring objects that you can feel, all right? And describe them in sentences using the types of sentences we learned. So for example, you want to describe your toy, all right? For example, I have a toy, it's soft, it's furry, then that will be wonderful. All right, so see you again, everyone. Goodbye. Thank you. See you in our next English class. Bye.